The left-wing media mob, legacy media mob, is of course downplaying the suspected ISIS-linked terror plot that was thwarted in New York City. Just take a look at this now deleted tweet from fake news CNN. You know, sure fake Jake will be upset.
Unbelievable.
According to them, the suspected ISIS-aligned terrorists were just, quote, two Pennsylvania teenagers who, quote, crossed into New York City Saturday morning for what could have been a normal day. Before they were arrested for throwing homemade bombs, IEDs. They weren't the only ones, though. The New York Times blasted for their initial headline, which read, quote, smoking jars of metal and fuses thrown at a protest near the mayor's house, before they changed it to accurately report that it was a homemade bomb. ABC also facing backlash for claiming that the suspected terrorists were actually, quote, activists. Anyway, Fox News contributor Joe Conscious here. I have no words. Maybe you can help it. You take over the segment, because these people are pathetic.
Pathetic is the proper word here, Sean. All in caps, by the way, underscore in italics. Imagine CNN covering the attack, Sean, of Pearl Harbor in December 1941. It would sound something like this. Two Japanese sailors were in the Pacific on an abnormally warm day and stumbled upon the island of Hawaii and the military port of Pearl Harbor when they suddenly and unwittingly engaged in attacks on the U.S. naval operations. It's really no different. I mean, what does CNN even stand for at this point? I mean, the craptastic news network? I mean, if these IEDs went off, it would be like the Boston bombing from, what, 13 years ago? All over again. So there's no sugarcoating this. These are Islamic extremists who sought to murder Americans they disagreed with right in New York City. And the mayor, Zohran Mamdani, in his statements afterwards, prioritized the protesters who were being targeted in terms of his statements and condemning them over the terrorists who tried to kill them, which is completely expected given
Even
what
Clem is laughing.
has said in the past. This is the same guy who said he would arrest Netanyahu on the spot if he sets foot in New York City ever. The same guy who accused Israel of being an apartheid state just 2 weeks before the October 7th attacks. While Mrs. Mamdani seems quite sympathetic to Hamas and seems to have no problem with the October 7th attacks based on her social media likes and retweets. So congratulations, Sean. You got out of New York right in time because, again, the New York Times, by the way, you absolute hacks. These weren't community arts and crafts class when you talk about jars and wires. These were IEDs, improvised explosive devices, and this was supposed to be the paper of record. I mean, why try to diminish this? It's not journalism, Sean. It's activism, and now everyone is dumber for having read that headline in the New York Times. I award them no points, and may God have mercy on their soul.
You know, they